Hey Flosstube, it's Laura B. Flosstube. Welcome back for another edition of my crazy life. So tonight I'm going to talk to you about some finishes, some new starts that became finishes, some whips, some new plans in the works, and all the quilty stuff I've been doing too. So stay tuned for all of that goodness, and we will start with quilts tonight. Okay, so I have been doing the Sewcialites 2 quilt along with FatQuarterShop, and I now have 11 of the blocks completed. That makes me current through last week. The block 12 will be released this Thursday, Friday. They put it on their website on Thursdays, but then they have their sew along with it in there, and Kimberly does a great video on Fridays to show you some tips and tricks on how to get that block put together. I'm really happy with the way these are turning out so far. I wasn't very happy with the one block that had so much orange in it, but I talked to a friend and she suggested I try to bring in some colors in a few other blocks, which I have been doing. I'm not sure how many I'm going to be doing like that, but a few. And then it will, balance out when I scatter them throughout the finished quilt. Still haven't totally decided on my finish setting for that, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. And then on the other side of the design wall are my little busy bees. They are for the retreat that I'm going to next month with the local quilt guild that I belong to. The theme of the quilt guild is Sew Be Happy, sew as in S-E-W, be happy. So this is one of the blocks. They're doing 3 different blocks actually that you make however many you want, and you throw them into the pile, and then one lucky winner gets to take all the blocks home and turn them into a quilt or a wall hanging or whatever they want, really. I know I have a couple friends that have won the blocks in the past, and they have turned them into the same baggie they got them into. So hopefully whoever gets these will do something with them. I used the basic gray Frankie line, and then I also used some grunge fabrics for the bee, and I'm not really sure what the black and the white wings were, but those are my 5 little bees that are going with me to retreat. I actually think I'll probably turn 4 in and keep 1 for myself. Okay, so in addition to those cute little bees, I'm also taking fabric with me. I actually made up kits. So I'm taking kits with me for 4 different projects. I have 2 of the Moda Love Charm Pack quilt tops kitted up. And then I have the Swoon block quilt kitted up with the, it's the Tim Holt's Eclectic Provisions fabric line that I'm using for that. And then I'm doing the Oh My Stars, Pat Sloan's free quilt top pattern that she has on her website. And that is my 4 projects that I'm going to be working on. And I'm taking my Featherweight with me. It's our first excursion, so I'm super excited about that. Okay, let's move on to cross stitch. So I have some starts that turned into finishes, and I'm so excited about that. I can't believe how much stuff I got done in the last 2 weeks. In fact, I was looking back and I was like, did I really get that much done? But I did, and I am so, so happy. So first finish, I showed this as a finish last time, but now it's in the frame, is the Edna Viola Salt Box, which is by Punkin Quilting. Melissa does a wonderful job with her patterns, and they're all free on her blog. So I encourage you to check out her blog. And then if you're sewing along, remember I'm doing a stitch along for Pinker and Punkin. For all of 2023, I'm doing 1 salt box a month. So I encourage you to join me with that fun, and you can use the hashtag. I have it in the description box below. And then you can tag me on Instagram or YouTube if you're another Flosstuber. So this is Edna Viola's Salt Box. And this is just a little 5-inch frame that I found on Amazon, and it can either be on the wall or on the table. And right now I just have it sitting in my craft room. So that's finish 1. My next finish was the also Pinker and Punkin. I started and finished this. I've learned from a really bad mistake to be careful with this finish. So this is the perpetual calendar that I found on Facebook, and I finished the Winter Manor salt box. Let me zoom in so you can see that. I finished it on a hand-dyed Lugana, I believe. Yeah, a hand-dyed Lugana And I used a teal, an evening blue, and I think a little bit of gray to get this hand-dyed fabric. I know I went over that a little more in detail on the last Flosstube, so if you're interested, please check that out. I also posted my colors for this one in the last Flosstube, so you can go and look in the description box and get those colors. I am using anchor flosses on the spools, and I really, really like them. So I finished this on 2 layers of sticky board. Those of you that follow me on Instagram, you saw my question about, it needs something, what would you do? And so I put it on another little piece of sticky board and with just some red fabric behind there. A little bit of rickrack trim. It brings out the cardinals in the design really well, I think. So I'm really happy about this. And this is my, my calendar for the year, and one of my calendars, I guess, in my office. And the numbers and the days or the months and all that stuff switch out. So what I did was I'm going to do one of these for each month. And this is where I've learned. Hang on. Because those numbers just slide right out of there, and then you have a bunch of numbers on the floor and you got to pick them up. Okay. So what I do is I put magnets on the board, and they're just secured with hot glue. No big deal, right? And then I put washers on the back of my piece. And then I also, I made a mistake, but it's all good. I also use the fender washers with hot glue on the back of the piece, and then I write down just some whatever information that I want to remember about that for the next time that I use it, or for whenever, really. And then I can just put this on there. Goes right back into place. And then for my February stitch, I will just put those washers on the back of it as well, and I can swap them out. This is the same thing that you do, that I've done for my calendar crate display board as well. I had a couple friends ask me what the deal with the washers and magnets were, so that's what I'm doing, and that's definitely not my idea. I learned that from Priscilla Blaine with Stitching with the Housewives, but I know other designers do that as well. So there is the Winter Manor by Pinker and Punkin. Okay, that's the second finish. And I'm carefully laying that down. I'm telling you, I had to fish a number out from the back of, and it was, ugh. Anyway. Okay, so next finish was one that I was working on, and I decided I was done with it. So the Historic Stitchery is a German company. They did a free Christmas stitch along, and it's a beautiful design. I just don't have the patience or the desire to finish it. The cloth that I was using was really soft, and it was kind of a pain, and I didn't want to do a hoop, and I was just over it. So I decided to only do a quarter of the design. There's 3 more pieces that go with this. There's like a, second, third, and fourth section of this, but I decided that I was happy with just this 1/4 of the design. And again, this is just a little 5x5 frame that I found on Amazon. It was a 2-pack for like $12, so pretty cost effective. And this turned out really good, I think. I mean, I like that finish. It looks cute, and the design doesn't look unfinished, I don't think. I think it just looks like, that was the design. So I'm happy with that. So there's my next finish. Took that out of my whips pile too that way. All right, the next one was a start and a finish. So FatQuarterShop has a free Love Notes cross stitch and quilt pattern rather on their website that you can download for free. And this frame I have used the other way for my Snowballs for Sale, which is a design by Lori Holt. I finished it probably a 1.5 years ago or so. Had it hanging up for Christmas, so I started the Love Note cross stitch by FatQuarterShop and finished it up. So let me tell you about this design. First of all, I did not do the design the exact way that they have it charted. I felt like that was a lot of fill for that envelope, the darker purple and the lighter lavender up here. I wanted my teal heart to stand out. So all of those are full crosses. The purple has a full cross around the outside, but then on the inside, I just did the 10th stitch to fill in. The lavender little swirly in the envelope is a full stitch, as are the white hearts. But then the purple up above, again, the lavender, it does have a full stitch for the border, but then it's just a 10th stitch to fill in. Then the dark purple heart with the arrow through it is a full stitch, as are the teal hearts and the white filigree and the little lavender X's here. But then you'll notice that my little corners are just 10th stitch again. So it did speed up my stitching. I was able to finish it a lot faster than if I would have been doing full stitches, but I think it looks just as good. And in fact, I kind of like the purple envelope on the bottom, how that wintergreen Aida cloth is kind of showing through. So the Aida cloth I used, I got it from like an estate bucket sale, and it's Charles Craft Wintergreen. I have no idea if you can still get that or not, but it is a 14 count Aida. And then I used anchor flosses on the spool, and the white is the 001. And then let's see, the purple is 0094. The lighter lavender or lilac is a 0095. And then the teal is 0189. And then I did add so this purple fabric behind there matches like perfectly, right? But this is actually some hand-dyed fabric that my stepdaughter made when she was in high school with, I think it's shibori. Yeah, shibori fabric dyeing. And I just had it in my stash because it's not going to work for a quilt because it doesn't hold the dye as well as it needs to for a quilt that would be washed many times. So I've been using it for some of my craft finishes, almost like my little cross-stitch pillows and boards like this. So this was actually a shibori dyed fabric by my stepdaughter that's done probably 3 or 4 years ago now. Goodness, because she's a sophomore in college. Okay, so and then I also have some white rickrack trim, and then just 3 little buttons here that I just, random stash buttons. And I'm really happy with this. And this is done the same way. I have 4 magnets on my frame, and this backer board is actually covered with fabric, and I just have 4 magnets hot glued on there. And then I have 4 washers on the back of my board. I didn't write down the details, but I will. And so this way, and then on the back of this frame came from Hobby Lobby. It was $35, but we all know that we don't pay full price at Hobby Lobby, so I'm sure I got it for at least 50% off. I ran wire both directions so I can use this frame either horizontally or I guess just to say landscape or portrait, and then put my magnets on the front. So when it's for Snowballs for Sale, it goes this way, but now for Love Note, it goes this way. And I'm gonna hang it on the same nail, same spot in my house, so it works out great. I'll have to, that's pretty good. Needs to be straightened up a little bit, but not too bad. Yeah, so here's that finish. All right, where am I gonna put that? We'll put this there. So those are all of my finishes. Super happy to get that many things accomplished in the last couple of weeks, and happy that I'm moving on with more new things too. I don't have any progress on my flags on the 4th stitch, but I was looking at it and I've decided that I'm going to devote 3 days coming up. So next week, the 22nd through the 24th, I'm going to be stitching on my flags on the 4th and nothing else. So coming soon, hopefully the next Flosstube, I will have some progress on that. To be quite honest, I was looking at it and I was like, maybe I can make that a smaller stitch. Maybe I won't do all of the flags. Maybe I'll just do the line that I'm on and then just frame it as a smaller piece, kind of like I did with the Historic Stitchery. Just because I'm not in love with it anymore. I like the stitch. I wish that I would have done it on a higher, or I guess a larger count, because that 18 count is really kind of taxing with all of those little half stitches. So if I would do it over again, I would definitely do it on a 14 count. And I may actually even do it on Lugana, because those half stitches, it's just really difficult on Aida to get those half stitches to look really good. And to be quite honest, to get through that Aida, it's kind of stiff. So we'll see what happens with the flags in the 4th stitch. But I've just decided that I'm just not going to continue to torture myself like I have been. All right, but we have a new start. The Autumn Love cross stitch pattern by Lori Holt. I got mine at FatQuarterShop. I'm sure that there are other places you can purchase it too. It is published by It's So Emma, and I know that they have their patterns lots of places. So, but I have a really good start on this. I've stitched on this, I don't even know. I should have looked up how many hours. I was a little discouraged because I realized when I was done with all of that and all of this and about halfway down here that I used the wrong color for the house. Yay! But I've just decided that it was fine, and so I changed the colors for the squirrels, and I changed the door color to match the shutters, and I changed the paint, the crossbars in the windows, and I think it looks great. So I will continue working on that, and this is actually my project for this week, just to continue working on the borders, and that's what I'm going to start doing is just all these little frames that go around. Oh, and the other thing I realized, is that I have my cloth orientation wrong. Yay! But thankfully, I do have enough cloth to get the design down here, but I'll have extra cloth on the sides that should have been at the top and the bottom. But I do have enough cloth, thankfully, and it won't be too tight. So you can see like where this frame ends up here. I have probably a good 1.5 inches up here, so it's fine. It'll be fine. And I should have about the same down below. But this is my start and progress for Autumn Love. I love it so much. I'm using a 28 count antique white Lugana with the called for DMC, unless I make a mistake and then I kind of wing it. I mean, it's still called for, well, the squirrels aren't. So it's supposed to be called for DMC, but sometimes mistakes happen and you have to go with it. Because I was not unstitching all of that and I was not starting over. All right, so the rest of January, the only other thing that I plan on starting in January is the 2017 Prairie Schooler Santa. And I'm going to be doing that the last week of January. So I think it's like the 29th, 28th, that's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Oh, I have a calendar right here. Yeah, the 29th, 30th, and 31st of January. I'm going to work on the Prairie Schooler Santa, and I am going to finish him. But then when I get him done, I am going to start the next salt box. So the next salt box that I'm going to be doing is Elizabeth Hartline's salt box, and this is for February. And here are all the colors I've chosen. So you can take a screenshot of that if you want to do the same thing. Not that I think that you need to, or that you should, or that you have to. But if you're interested in what anchor flosses I've pulled, those are the colors. And then, shoot, I thought these were turned over already. So here are what the colors look like that I chose for the design. And I do have those. This is a Halloween box, but it's a little floss box from FatQuarterShop that came in their spooky box. It fits my anchor floss spools perfectly, and it makes it really easy to keep them from getting, unwound and tangled up in my bags. So need to make a note somewhere. This is the cloth I've dyed. So, okay, that's the rest of my January, and the first week of February plans is the Elizabeth Hartline salt box. But then the second week of February, somewhere around the 7th, I'm going to start the Pansy Patch Quilts Peppermint House stitch. And this is the Peppermint Lane. I am going to do all 9 of them. And I've decided that I'm going to do them as one stitch. Because my husband gave me some 18 count Aida cloth for Christmas, and it was white, and I have dyed it. So I don't know if you can tell that much, but I used a tea stain. There, maybe there you can see it more. I used tea stain, and then I used rose quartz RIT liquid dye. So basically I wadded it up in the bowl, and I mixed up some rose quartz dye and just kind of spooned it over in spots. And then I poured tea dye, or just tea water basically, all over it and let it soak for a few minutes, rinsed it out, looked at it, thought, it needs a little more rose quartz. So I put a little rose quartz on it and more tea, and then just let it dry. So this will be for Peppermint Lane. I'm very excited about this one. I need to get my floss colors together. I think I am going to use basically all the called for floss colors. I know there's several that I need to purchase. So I'll be making a trip to probably Hobby Lobby because they have the best DMC selection around here, and I am going to be using DMC on that. So that is my February plans. Now, March, yay! I have corrupted, influenced, coerced a friend that is a fellow quilter, hi Pam, to start cross stitching again. She's found that she can cross stitch in the evenings while football or something is on, and then she can cross stitch. So she started cross stitching again, and she sent me a picture today of what she was working on, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've wanted to do that forever. So she happened to have 2 of the Featherweight cross stitch patterns, and I'll put that designer information below. So she gracefully has given me one of her patterns. It was kind of funny. She's like, I bought this pattern and then lost it, and then I bought it again and then found it. So she sent me one of the copies of her Featherweight cross stitch pattern. So I'll be starting that for my birthday start, which is perfect because last year I went and bought my Featherweight on the day before my birthday, but that was like my birthday gift to myself. And so this year I'm going to start the Featherweight cross stitch on my birthday. Yay! I might actually start it the day before because my birthday, I have a service project meeting to go to with my quilt guild, so I don't know if I'll have cross stitch time that day. But anyway, it will be my birthday start, and I'm so thankful. Thank you so much, Pam, for giving me that extra pattern. I will put it to good use. All right. So let's see, I think that's all I have, to be quite honest. That is it. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. We are now at 592 subscribers, so 8 more subscribers and I'm still going to plan on doing the project bag giveaway when I reach 600. So please spread the word, and at the next Flosstube, but if I'm over 600 subscribers, then I will do a drawing. You'll comment on that video, and I'll give you like 2 weeks, and then I'll do a drawing and give away a project bag and a clutch. So super fun. Classes started back up today. This is my life update, so if you're done with you don't want to hear anything about my life, that's fine. And thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Otherwise, quick life update. Class started again today. It's the last class I have to do to finish my undergrad. I graduate May 13th, which is so super exciting. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Looks like I'll be doing a lot of reading and a lot of writing for this class, but that's okay because I typically don't struggle with reading or writing, so it should be all right. Let's see. I got new glasses. This is my first time. Okay, so this is where I say I'm old. This is my first time that I've had progressive lenses, but you will notice that I left them on during the entire video, and they don't glare, which is like nice. You don't see a glare in them. That's got the anti-glare or whatever on it. Well, maybe if I go like that, then you see a glare, but otherwise you don't have a glare. So that's great. But they are progressive, so I can like look across over there and read things on my computer screen and look back here. I got a call and it messed up my video. Okay, So what I was saying was I can read my screen here and I can look across the room and still read my computer screen. I don't have to take my glasses on and off and on and off. And I love it. I have never been able to cross stitch with my glasses on, and I can now, which is amazing. I haven't been able to sew with my glasses on for probably a year, and I've been able to do that. It's a game changer. Oh my goodness. All of you out there that are like, yeah, I've had progressive lenses forever. They're amazing. You don't understand. This is new to me. It's great and I love them. And it's totally a game changer. I'm so happy about that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have going on. I'm so excited about retreat this next month. I know I've mentioned it before, but I'm still super excited. So that's coming up really soon. Oh, and then my husband and I have decided that we're going to go to Colorado at the end of March, which I'm super excited about that too. And then we have a trip. I graduate in May, and then we have a trip in June to go to Memphis for a car show for like a week-long excursion. And I'm excited about that as well. So lots of fun things coming up. Yeah, and lots of stitching time, I'm hoping. Probably not as much the next 16 weeks, but then I'll have the summer off. Anyway, I will talk to you next time. And until then, I hope you find lots of time for stitching and quilting and crafting and whatever you do to just express your artfulness. So I wish you the best, and I will see you later.